surprise, surprise, when it comes to the crunch, there will be no border checks in Northern Ireland, exactly what we've been saying for years. So I think you need to take with a pinch of salt a lot of the threats that have been made around the so-called no deal.
Yeah, so in other words, we'll be waving through potentially lorry loads of smuggled goods and illegal migrants.
There's no more danger to the European Union goods that we'll be importing than there was the day before we left the European Union. We'll have full regulatory equivalence, and as everyone knows, Adam, to actually put extra checks in under WTO when there's full regulatory equivalence and no reason for them would be a non-tariff barrier, and those are illegal under WTO rules.
Yeah, but if we're under WTO rules, we won't have full regulatory equivalence. I mean, again, that's something which you're asserting.
We will on the day.
That's something you're asserting, which is not actually legally in place.
No, Adam. Until Parliament changes any of our rules, which will probably take 18 months to enact, we're exactly on the regulatory equivalence with the European Union, the same as the day before we left. So there's no reason for any extra checks, and indeed, any extra checks would be illegal under WTO rules, because they're a non-tariff barrier that are unnecessary.
But there are going to be some tariffs, aren't there, on day one of no-deal Brexit?
Well, not if the EU accepts GATT24, and since they sell us £100 billion worth of goods more than we sell to them.
But you know perfectly well that GATT24 has been raised, and that is subject to agreement, which is not leaving without a deal. It's subject to there being a trade framework in place. You know that. So what you're saying is not true. There will have to be tariffs on day one.
We can sign a GATT24 Article 24 agreement the moment we leave. It's a one-pager. We get 10 years of quota and tariff-free trade, or we agree that detailed free trade.
We could sign that unilaterally, can we?
Damaging their economy, and the surplus tariffs account for £12 billion a year they'll be paying us in surplus. We can refund all the tariffs to our exporters and keep £12 billion of the EU's money. And at the same time, we need to be negotiating a free trade deal with